Welcome to iHeartGeek.
And welcome to another episode of iHeartGeek. And I know everybody's mind is finishing the song right now because this is my childhood, and this was awesome. We're talking about Super Mario. I'm Dub. I'm here with Ryan. We're here with Kevin. We're here with Cheeky Chi, Christina. Oh my gosh, they finally did one right. I feel like this was the best animated movie, or not, I'm sorry, video game movie ever.
God, man, close to, if it's not the best, it's
So
probably
good.
the best.
I don't. What about you, Christina? What do you think?
Well, I've seen it 3 times.
Okay, so you liked it.
And it's fun. It's fantastic in 3D. It is so much fun.
Ooh, I haven't seen it in 3D.
It is a blast.
This movie, it gave me every bit of Super Mario that I played since the NES. It gave me all the way through the GameCube and the 64 and the Switch and the Wii and the everything else, and it gave us everything.
And all the little fun Easter eggs they hid throughout the entire movie.
A lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
So many.
There was a point within this movie where I leaned over, because Ryan and I watched it together, and I leaned over to him and I said, "How do they get this so right? Like,
yeah,
it's just so good."
It was 2 hours of nostalgia bone tickling the entire time.
Okay, so let me take my real quick moment to kick people while they're down, because that's what I do. Everybody that didn't like Chris Pratt in this role, you're stupid. You couldn't tell it was Chris Pratt. I don't like him as a person. Shut up. He was so good in this role. And John Leguizamo, whatever kind of reach you're still trying to get, Mario is mine. No, you were terrible in the last Mario movie. This was perfection, mostly. What did everybody think of the backlash with the Leguizamo thing?
Initially, I was not thrilled that Chris Pratt was in the role, not because I don't like him as an actor or anything, but I just felt like we needed an Italian accent. But very quickly they dealt with that, so I was okay.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he was just a normal, like, it was just like an American style voice, but whenever he would do the sounds, the Mario sounds, they had that ting, and that's what I appreciated. It was still his Mario's voice, which is,
It didn't not feel like Mario at any point in that movie.
No, it did. It always felt like Mario.
Yeah, it always felt like Mario.
I mean, it wasn't a John Leguizamo thing. It wasn't Charles Martinet.
Yeah, I get that. I
didn't need the Hispanic guy as the Italian plumber anyways.
Facts are facts. Okay, so here's what I didn't like about the movie. There's just one thing, well, 2 things. I didn't like heart-shaped bangs, and they actually said something about it on Princess Peach. Yeah, they kind of have heart-shaped bangs, I guess. But I've never noticed it before, and they said that, and I'm like,
And then you couldn't not see it?
I can't not see that.
Yeah.
That upsets me. And I felt there was an underuse of Luigi. Yes, I know they had to try to figure out how to put in Luigi's Mansion in there. But I didn't like that we didn't get much Luigi.
Well, he was the damsel in distress instead of Peach this time. So
Mario kind of was too. He was kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else did I like? I really liked when Peach would jump as you do the drop down. You got the slow thing that we had from, I don't know if that was 2 or 3. 2. Yeah.
It was 2.
Where you'd have Peach kind of floating down. I really liked that. I want to hear some of the things you guys liked on this. I know I'm kind of dominating right now. Let's start with you, Kevin. Tell me some of the stuff you really loved from this.
Oh man, just so much. About Peach, I love the fact that it was still, Mario was still trying to save Peach, but Peach was
competent,
like, could really take care of herself, but yet she still needed, and I appreciate that, because that was always the dynamic in the video games, is Mario saving Peach. But I like how, like, Peach was still a strong, super strong character, but yet, you know what I mean? It just made
Yeah.
sense in like in modern. The first part where Peach is showing Mario the obstacle course.
Yes.
And you see the obstacle course for the first time. You're like, oh my God, I played this level before. You know, and then she goes through it, and then he's just time and time again doing it. It reminded me when I was 5 years old and going against World 3-1 in Mario Brothers over and over.
Well, and I'm sorry, something that brought me back more than anything else when the two guards in front were, sorry, Mario, your princess is in another castle, because that's how I felt like Toad was saying to me every time I finished a new chapter, and I was so mad, like, I just went through that, and the anger in my childhood just came up, and I loved it. It was so good. Christina, give us some happy.
Peaches, 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 peaches. I love that so much. Just you could pretty much put Jack Black in anything and it's going to be phenomenal, but he kicked it to a whole new level.
I didn't see any of that coming.
I didn't
No.
either, and it was so good. He really made the movie for me. I mean, it was a great movie, but his little, like, the fact that he's in love with her and not just we'll dominate together.
That's so different. I loved it.
And
Yes.
I appreciate it, right?
It
like
filled
it
the
makes it
gap.
more sense.
Yeah, and that's a issue that Mario has always had in the games, that they needed that little gap, and it's like, oh my gosh, the whole series makes so much more sense now.
Right?
Ryan.
Oh, it's the details. So like every step of the way, it was like, oh, that's from that game. That's from this game.
Yes.
All the toads are from Treasure Tracker. All the the clear pipes from Super Mario 3D World. The Peach test level has 2D sprites from Paper Mario. They picked the 3D carts. They're the same way that you pick the carts in Mario Kart now.
Yes.
It was just like constantly I remember that from this game. I remember that from that game.
Yeah.
Well, even the little things, like the name of the pizza place.
Mm-hmm. No, the plumbery worked for was from a game that like only released in Japan for the longest time.
And it had the blue mushroom or the black mushroom. Don't eat that one.
The pizza joint was named Punch Out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
it had
Punch Out. Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
that's from Mike Tyson. Yeah.
And the arcade game in there was Jumpman, which was supposed
the original
to be
Mario.
The original Mario there.
So cool. It was such a just nice walk where I needed to go.
Did you notice the ringtone on Luigi's phone was the GameCube startup theme?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me ask you guys this question, because no one can be 100% happy because we're geeks. What game did you want to see featured a little more, and what game do you feel that they featured too much? And I'm going to give you my too much. I'll give you my little more in a second. But my too much, I really felt like there's too much of the Mario Kart. I get it, but it became such a huge, it took over everything else. And I've never been a huge Mario Kart fan.
That's fair. That's fair. It was a lot of Mario, but that's fair.
But see,
and I'm not saying I didn't like it, but yeah.
I love Mario Kart. I would kick all my family's butt in it. So I was like, yeah.
And they took you down the Rainbow Road, which was nice.
The Rainbow Road, as soon as they said the Rainbow Road, I'm like, there it is. There's the Rainbow Road.
Me and my kids are fighting right now. Okay. So I feel, what about you, Kevin?
What they gave
too much or too little too?
Too much or too little?
Yeah.
Well, I would say I wanted to see. Well, first of all, I love the dynamic between Donkey Kong and him. I want to see more characters, but I think we're going to in the future. And it's centered around Mario and Donkey Kong. Which, if you're going to have a guy there from a different game, it has to be Donkey Kong when it comes to Mario.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
you want Mike Tyson in there too.
Yeah, well, I say too little.
Yeah.
I say too little that they wanted more, but I really think they're gonna build like a Super Smash Brothers universe.
Are
Like I want
they?
to see Link. I really would
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
I want to
I'd
see
like
Link.
it, but I don't think they will. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many ways that I can go into it. What about you, Ryan?
I did not get enough of one specific character until the post-credit scene. And I won't say who that was because I don't want to ruin it for everybody. But that's going to be what the second movie is about. If they took away more Mario Kart, I would have been happier with more Donkey Kong Country. Like so, more of the Donkey Kong kind of characters.
Yeah.
Or I would have really, really liked if they dug more into like the Super Mario Odyssey stuff. I don't know if anybody else has played that. That is just probably the best 3D Mario game I've ever played.
Nice.
That would have been great to see a little bit more of it. There was plenty of it there, just a little bit more of it.
Christina?
So I would actually I wanted to see more of the Donkey Kong Mario bromance because I thought it was just so good and completely out of left field. Like I didn't expect it. So I thought it was really good and really funny. And then what did I see too much of? That's hard. I mean,
because there was things that they definitely went to the well too much. I feel like there was.
Yeah, no, there always is, but I feel like a little too much for me. Peach had more power
than she should.
And I like that they did that, but I think it was a little too much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like when she did the obstacle course and then Mario I expected Mario to like do it faster because he's Mario. And I did enjoy that he messed up, but then there was a lot of that.
Yeah, that went too long.
And
yeah. That's a really fair point. I wanted to see I gotta say, I was so happy that they did put in anything from Super Mario 2 because nobody's played that game. Not the Super Mario 2 World, Super Mario 2 with the Japanese version that is the hardest game I've ever played in my freaking life. To this day, it's hard.
Lost World.
Oh, Lost World.
The Lost Levels.
But they gave us the black mushroom and all that. I thought that was great. Don't eat that one! I thought that was fantastic. But what was it that I really wanted to see more of?
Lumily.
You know what's cool is, guys, there's so much. Every time they would do something, I'm like, I can't believe they did it. Is whenever he became like the raccoon. You know?
Yeah, we didn't get the raccoon. We got the cat. Everybody hates the cat.
Yeah, it was the cat.
No.
No, I want the raccoon because he flies.
No, that cat Mario's like wildly popular.
I never liked the cat.
That cat Mario is so awesome in the 3D games. It's more useful than the Tanuki Mario is. I love that
one.
This is true.
The Tanuki's the raccoon suit.
Oh, I like the raccoon suit.
I know you like the raccoon suit because you played Super Mario 3.
Yes, I did. A lot. I love that game.
More Lumily. More of that gloomy blue star.
Oh, he was funny.
That was so awesome.
He was so funny.
That was weird. I like
the end is near.
Just in that toddler voice, that made it so perfect.
Okay, so now let me ask you this question. Super Mario, the world, everything. What is your favorite Super Mario game? And which did you enjoy playing the most? I mean, that's replayable to this day. That's going to be your favorite. And the one that when you first went through it, that was your favorite.
Probably Super Mario Brothers for me.
The original?
Because it was the first one where not just I got to play it, but I got to play it with my kids. So there's like that nostalgia factor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me give something else that I wish they would have had before we leave that entirely. I wish they would have had Luigi come in because everybody knows Luigi is the little brother's controller. That's controller 2. So they would have had something that he has to go clean up everything that Mario can't do at the end. And I would have loved to have seen somehow that worked out because Luigi is the player 2. And it's always the little brother that gets it. I would have liked to have seen them do something like that. I'm sorry. Okay, so going back to the game. Ryan.
Super Mario World.
That's your favorite?
Definitely.
Okay, so what is the best for replayability?
For replayability, if I had to recommend it to anybody, just because you get everything in it, is Super Mario All-Stars. I'm a Super Nintendo fanboy, so just anything with that.
Kevin?
So I have two answers here. My game that's just always very near and dear to my heart is Super Mario Brothers. It's one of the first video games I ever got. It is the first video game I ever had. I was 4 years old and I had a Nintendo and Super Mario Brothers, and I was just like, and me and my friends would play that game over and die and over and over and over. But my favorite Super Mario Brothers game of all time is Super Mario 64.
That's a good one.
My daughter and I, we have it on the Switch, and her and I went through it again. And playing it as an adult, it holds up so well. Such a great game.
My favorite to go through was, like everybody else, Super Mario, because that was just so groundbreaking. I still to this day can't get the 100 guys on level 3-2. That's kind of a deeper cut. I can't do it. I want to. I just can't. But I guess I would say the favorite replayability still to this day is still good as Super Mario 3. It had a lot of really good places to come from. It's replayable.
Here's the thing with Super Mario Brothers 3 though, is I discovered, like everybody has, the 2 warps, and so you can go all the way to the last. So the only levels I've ever actually played in Mario Brothers 3 was the first, the desert, and the last.
Then why don't you play through one at a time?
No,
it's finding everything. It's not
the
about
first game is Warp Zones too.
Yeah.
You can play like 5 worlds and beat the first one.
Was anybody ever able to get to the negative worlds on Super Mario?
Yes.
Yes.
No, not me. It was one of my best friend at the time, and it's pretty cool.
I've never seen it, and I want to.
My best friend had it.
Did you do it, Ryan?
No.
So Christina's the only real man out of all of us.
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
It's a speech.
So, do you want to see 2, and what do you want to see in it? And then we're going to kind of wrap up. So, Super Mario 2, do you think they should? Okay, and controversial. I don't think they should do another one because this is close to perfect. I think that they're just going to go to the well too many times on the second one. So, I prefer that this be the only one. With that being said, the most perfect video game adaptation to a movie I've ever seen. Kevin.
That's a very good point. It's as close to perfection as you can get. Are they going to be able to top it or even match it? I don't know, but I'm playing a Nintendo game right now that the original Breath of the Wild was one of the greatest Zelda games of all time, and they just beat it with this latest Zelda game. So yes, I want another one, and I want Waluigi, I want Wario, and I want them to start build it up, and let's have Super Smash Brothers universe.
Okay, Christina.
I think I'm okay with 1 because sequels almost always seem to let me down.
Yeah, as the second sequels of Star Wars, those are all bad. Saying, Ryan.
All right, so now I can do the spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoil.
The post-credit scene was Yoshi. The second movie is going to be Yoshi's Island, and I will be absolutely enraged levels of furious if I don't get that movie. Because we did not get nearly enough Yoshi in this movie. We saw them running in a background in the Mario Kart stuff, but we did not get anywhere near the levels of Yoshi that I require. So I would be absolutely beyond upset if I don't get that second movie because that post-credit screen says we're getting Yoshi.
I just had the greatest idea for the Yoshi's Island, because Yoshi's Island, Mario is a baby, right? Well, then they just make Bowser super small. What if they made him super small, and then Yoshi had to protect him, and
that'd be interesting. I can see
that's Yoshi's Island. He's a baby.
I think it's going to be more with Yoshi's Island, Wario's Woods, probably Super Mario RPG kind of stuff. I think it's going to be more on that end of things.
Mario Golf.
There's a lot of there's a ton of stuff they did not touch that they could make a whole second movie with.
Okay, final question for y'all. Put some thought into this. Why was this movie so good? what was it about this that made it so good? And you can't say it's the member berries because that was a part of it, but that wasn't it. What made this so freaking good? Let's start with you, Ryan.
So this I'm going to draw Kevin in here because Kevin and I went to this. I took my 5-year-old daughter who has no experience playing Mario. I just haven't played it with her, and she loved the movie. Kevin, you are from a different era of Nintendo than I am, and both Dub and Christina are from a different era of
NES,
Nintendo
baby.
than I am, and it
Back
hit it
in
for
our
every
day.
single one of us. I'm an N64 kid. I played a little bit on the NES at my grandparents' house when I was a little kid, but I'm an N64 kid.
I was in the Navy when I got an N64.
It hit everything. It hit everything for anybody. You didn't have to play the games when you were a kid to enjoy the movie. It was a great family movie. It was hilarious. It was well done. It was as perfect as I could have ever hoped for. And I was able to take my kid to it, and she enjoyed it as much as I did.
And on top of all that, nobody pushed any agenda on it. It was just fun. There was no, like a lot of movies we see has an agenda. There was zero agenda in it. It was just everybody can like it. Christine, what about you?
So, jumping on what Ryan said, it's true. It's so true. There was a lady that was leaving and she was like, wait, this was a video game? But she loved the movie and she was just talking about it, and like she was like older than me.
You can't be
and
friends with her. You can't be friends with this person.
She was older than me and she brought her grandkids. So kudos to her for bringing her grandkids. But yeah, every part of it it brought joy. Like and it was, and again in 3D is phenomenal. And since we brought it up, it would have been fun to see them in Negative World. That would have been a fun little thing to add, even like at the end. And do you still have a Nintendo 64?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, I can tell you how to get there.
Oh, we'll talk later because I got it on the Switch.
Okay, because I still have so I'm that nerd that I still have my original Nintendo. I have my Nintendo 64 and I have my Switch.
My mom gave mine away. I still have my 64
and
though.
I felt 17 again.
Aww.
Because there were so many fantastic memories. And I wasn't allowed to play it at home. We weren't allowed to have video games, so I'd sneak over to my friends. So much like the movie Tron.
You felt like the rebel at that moment.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I walked out of there loving it, and I was the one that didn't want to go see it, and my kids were like, "Come on!" And so I did, and now I've seen it 3 times.
I was very afraid I wasn't gonna like it. I mean, y'all have listened to me talk. I'm so afraid of.
Don't mess with our childhood.
My memory's getting crapped on, and this finally was something that there's been other stuff, but my memories were not crapped on at all, and I so appreciate that. I mean, there's almost tears coming out for that. I mean, I know it sounds crude, but it was my childhood, and you guys didn't mess it up for a change. You didn't try to put today into then. It's just then.
It's just my childhood. That's all it was, and that's what's cool. It was a movie for the family, but like the kid in the family, you know. So each one of us had our childhood like relived on the screen, and the reason why it was so good was just because it was a good movie that happened to be about Super Mario Brothers, and it wasn't just a nostalgia trip the entire time. Because my whole thing was, okay, is it just going to be nostalgia? Is it going to be like a 2-hour just nostalgia? But that's it. No substance. They're just going to start giving us. No, man, it was a really good movie that got the nostalgia perfect.
Yeah, such a good thought out storyline. And it actually, I'm a girl, so I can say it.
No.
It made me tear up.
Like I did.
I had moments.
Especially like the relationship with Mario and his parents. Oh my gosh! At the end, that just killed me in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to spit out before we close down?
Yep. Peaches. Wait.
Here, I got one for you.
We're gonna get sued for copyrighted
See.
after this one, aren't we?
Peaches.
Can't hear it at
Nope,
all.
can't hear it.
No.
Teachers.
Oop, that is going to be a show. Check out the iHeart Geek, www.iheartgeekshow.com. Use the column we paid extra for it. Go to the Facebook, go to the Twitter, talk to us. We talk back. We got a lot of new stuff coming. I've fallen in love with wrestling, so I expect a few more of those episodes coming very soon.
Kevin's swearing on people.
We got some more movies coming out. We got some new subjects coming out. Thanks for sticking around for the ride, guys. And
Oh my
until
God,
next time,
need to do.
go
We
ahead.
need to do a Zelda episode.
You guys
Oh
do
my
that.
God.
I was never a Zelda
Tears of the
fan.
Kingdom's amazing right now.
Dr. Rocks. I'm Dub. I'm here with Ryan. We're here with Kevin. We're here with Christina. Keep on geeking on, guys. We'll see you next time. Keep on geeking on. I said that again. Yeah.
Come on, geek it on.
Keep on.
Geek on.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.